I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but the NBA playoffs start very, very soon. Actually, the play-in starts tomorrow as of recording. And when I was showering, naked, butt ass naked, rubbing my ass, cleaning my ass, washing my ass, I had a thought of realization. What if wrestling, like WWE or AEW, had their own playoffs? Let me break down how I'd book this shit right here. Okay? So I'd have like a regular season, put on like, just normal matches. Have like a Ricochet versus Damian Priest. It's non-title. It's a normal match, 20-minute time limit. Have matches like this. You could have like 15 wrestlers. 15 wrestlers compete in the regular season. You have 15 wrestlers in one roster. You could break it down to two brackets: Raw and SmackDown. 15 wrestlers from Raw, 15 wrestlers from SmackDown. Have it like a round robin type of tournament. Have everyone face off against each other and see what the final record is against like the whole like regular season. Kind of like what the NBA does. They have 82 games. For this, we'd have 15 games. Everyone on Raw competes against each other in the tournament. And same for SmackDown. So these SmackDown and Raw, they're going to mirror each other. So I'm just going to say Raw just for the simplicity. The 8 best records from like each roster and move them on to the playoffs. Guys, I'm going somewhere with this shit. I promise. I'm cooking something. You see, look, I made an example. I was in class and I made an example of a bracket that we could do. So this isn't like me predicting some shit. This is just like me. I made this just for the sake of it, just to show you guys an example of how it would work. I'm not fantasy booking nothing, okay? So you see, look, Cody Rhodes, he is 13-2. He has only lost 2 matches, and he ends up with the 1st seed. And he faces up against the 8th seed. That is the worst record of the 8 wrestlers chosen, and that'd be The Miz, who would have gone 7-8. So it'd be Cody Rhodes and The Miz in the first round, and the next one would be the 4th seeded Ricochet. He would have gone 10-5. And the 5th seed would be Finn Balor, and he would have gone 9-6. So you get what I'm saying? It's like in order. The 3rd seed would be Damian Priest. He would have gone 10-5. The 6th seed would have gone to Ivar with the 9-6. And let me explain to you why Finn Balor is the 5th and Ivar is the 6th. Let's just say Finn Balor beat Ivar, and that was a tiebreaker. And same for Damian Priest and Ricochet. So just that. That's the tiebreaker for them. And you see the 2nd seed, the second best record in the Raw roster would be Drew McIntyre with 11-4. He'd go against the 2nd worst record, and that'd be against Dominic, who would have gone 8-7. It'd be Cody Rhodes and The Miz, Ricochet, Finn Balor, Damian Priest and Ivar, and Drew and Dominic Mysterio. And look, I know I made a bracket, and it's fucking messy as fuck. And the tournament wouldn't be like your normal tournament, like, oh, it's a one and done. No, it's a best out of 7. And I know, guys, I already know this is like extremely unrealistic. No wrestler's gonna want to do this because it's gonna tear the body apart. Like, being realistic, yeah, it's gonna do. This is just for fun, guys. This is just for fun. You see? So like, let's say Cody Rhodes beats The Miz in the series, and he beats him 4-0. He sweeps his ass. It's 4-0, and guess what? The Miz is out, and Cody Rhodes moves on to the next round. So you have to win 4 matches to move on to the thing. And let's say Ricochet and Finn Balor, they battle it out. It's they go to 7 matches. They go to the limit. They push each other. They change their game plan every other match, and they change. But Finn Balor gets on top and wins the match 7. Ricochet can win the first one. Finn Balor can win the 2nd and the 3rd match. Ricochet can come back, win the 4th and 5th, and then Finn Balor wins the 6th. And then it's a match 7, and it's a big deal. It's like, who's gonna move on? Who's gonna move on to face Cody Rhodes in the next round? And it's Finn Balor. He ends up winning that. So you see, there is drama to this. Like, if you haven't seen the NBA, this is like the drama to it. Like, a game 7 in the NBA is like a big deal, because like you don't know who's gonna win. It's both teams pushing each other to the limit. See, the next one would be Damian Priest and Ivar. It end in 6 games, and Damian Priest wins and moves on to the next round, and he'd face off the winner of Drew and Dominic, and that ended in 5 matches, let's say. And it's Drew and Damian in round 2, and Finn and Cody in round 2. And that's this semifinals for the Raw bracket. And let's say Drew McIntyre beats Damian Priest in 6 matches, and Cody Rhodes beats Finn Balor in 4 matches. He sweeps his ass again. So it's Cody and Drew McIntyre, and they go to 7. Imagine that. And Cody Rhodes wins the Raw bracket. So it works something like that. I don't want to explain the SmackDown bracket. It's you get my point. You can just look on the screen and just see what would happen. And look, I know. This is like supremely unrealistic. Like, WWE is never ever doing this. First of all, I don't know how they'd even fit all those matches in like a short time span. I was thinking maybe fall, like after SummerSlam, when like WWE is like at its most dead. But like even then, that's still like a shit ton of matches. And like when would it end? On paper, it's a really good idea, but if they were to execute it, it'd probably be like a lot shorter. And you know, maybe they could do it just with 8 wrestlers, like in total, just like 4 on Raw, 4 on SmackDown, and they just do it then. Maybe that would work. But I really like the idea of like a playoff. I think AEW should at least try something like a variation of this because first of all, they're on TBS and TNT, and they also air the NBA playoffs, so there's that connection. But also, AEW's biggest show, All In, doesn't have like a little like a Royal Rumble or a G1. You know, I want to see like a man win a match or like a tournament to determine like the number 1 contender for the biggest show of the year. And JPW has the G1. They win that big ass tournament, and they got to go to Wrestle Kingdom, challenge for the world title. The Royal Rumble winner gets the challenge for the world title. So I'd love to see something for that for AEW. It'd probably fit their type of style too, like that sports type wrestling. You know, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. You know that thing Tony Khan keeps wanting to bring back is like the records. Like they literally never mean anything. He abandoned it within 2 weeks. He could bring that back and like separate 15 wrestlers. You know, he can make 2 groups, group 1 and group 2. And, you know, have them compete against each other, you know, round robin tournament like the Continental Classic, and the 8 best wrestlers with the best records. He could do this. Tony Khan can find a way to do this. The records will finally mean something. I don't know. I think it's a good idea. Like the people always complain, oh, these are good matches, but the matches make no sense. Where's the story? Where's the story? Well, the story is they want to improve the record. It's like the NBA. They want to improve the record. We don't need a story for an NBA game. The regular season is like they're competing to improve the record, and we could just do that. And AEW wants a sports style wrestling. They could just do this. AEW isn't gonna do this. WWE isn't gonna do this. Fucking no one's gonna do this because the fucking wrestlers are gonna fall apart. I'm just fantasy booking. This is just for fun. I really, if anyone did this, I'd love to see it. I'd love to watch it. And if anyone tells me in the comments, but Doo Shit Fort Wrestling did this in 2007, why didn't you watch that? No, bitch, because I was 2, first of all, in 2007. And second of all, I can't watch every fucking wrestling promotion in the world. Yeah, I'd love to like see WWE playoffs. And you know, if you're expecting a 2K video, I'm sorry to disappoint. I don't have 2K. I have 2K19. We can do that. No, I'm not doing that. I don't like 2K games.